And welcome to the Factor Uncensored. Glad you're staying up late with us. We truly appreciate it. Now let's get right down to business. Our first topic tonight, police holding individuals accountable and being unresponsive for their behavior while on the job. This comes after new body cam footage shows 7 officers taking down one woman during an arrest. Let's take a look.
You smoking weed? You guys smoking weed?
It's coming from the store.
Well, I can smell it coming from that, so.
You got it from the smoke shop.
Okay, well, go ahead. Do your favor. Put your hand behind the back, please. No.
You're violating.
Hey, we're fine.
Wait. Can you stop? We just got for work.
Stop right now.
Wait.
You're getting detained.
Why am I being detained? I just told you that they sell it in...
You're getting detained.
Why am I being detained?
Turn around now.
Stop!
Turn around or you're gonna get tased. You hear me?
Why am I being tased for?
We're gonna search you. I got it.
Put your hands behind your back! Put your hands behind your back!
Put your hand behind your back. Put your hand behind your back. Put your hand behind
Stop resisting!
Put your hand behind your back. All right, she's 72.
72 one time.
Now that was in Charlotte, North Carolina. Let's go to San Diego. A different experience. Take a look at this video where police tried to arrest a white suspect. So the guy pulls out his taser, the police officer pulls out his taser, he can't stop the suspect, then he pulls out his baton, and then the suspect walks away, gets into his car, and drives away.
Oh, what? Holy shit. Holy shit.
Can we start that video one more time, guys, so we can give the viewer what we're seeing? Let's start it over again. Here it is.
Oh, shit.
And of course, that suspect just drives off. Now, Waller County Constable Herschel Smith, Fort Benning County Constable Nabil Shaikh, and criminal defense attorney Tony Wadahawan joins us here on the Factor Uncensored to talk about this. So, as constables, guys, when you see this, the disparity, the difference in treatment when we talk about people of color and we talk about a white male, in the video in San Diego where the officer confronted the single white male, many of us have seen situations like that where a black person would have been shot. That's what they're saying on social media. Your thoughts on seeing these two different videos?
You want to go ahead?
You know, I think it's a lack of training, a lack of command presence from the officer actually that's in San Diego. You know, you can hear him kind of giving commands, but he retreated the entire way. Kind of a little bit different than what you see in North Carolina, where, you know, regardless of whether it was, you know, I think Delta 8 is what they were saying that it was. I don't know the laws that are there in that particular state, but if that officer had reasonably believed that it was marijuana, I think the initial contact may have been, you know, reasonable, but that officer pulling the female, and I just don't think they follow the force continuum properly. So a lot of it comes down to training.
Constable Smith, your thoughts on this?
3 words I always say: be fair, firm, and consistent. No matter who they are, no matter what race they are. If you be the same way with everybody, you're gonna treat everybody the same way. You know, this particular incident we saw where they had a little favor. this particular officer, once he tased the woman, once he tased the man, he took him out and just went crazy, you know. At that point, I don't know if she was calling backup or whatever she was doing, but at the fact that this particular guy was charging at her, you know, 9 times out of 10, we have seen African American get shot for that situation, you know, because it seemed like she had fear. He had fear, whoever looked more like a woman than a man to me, but it maybe had fear. She had fear, whatever that happened, but that, you know, she had probable cause to use other things, but at the same time, this guy was coming at her pretty aggressive, and she kind of ran away from him, you know. You never run, you retreat. Whatever you can do whatever you can do to stop the suspect. You know?
And Tony, let's bring you in as a defense attorney. When you see a case like this, in the case in the Carolinas, the charges were dropped against the suspect. Obviously, not enough weight to carry a marijuana charge, and they said we got it across the street from the smoke shop. It's THC. Yeah. When you see behavior and treatment like this, what are your thoughts about it?
Well, as a defense attorney who's been doing this for 15 years, I'm going to be honest with you, every time I see something like this, and I mean, I've sued PDs myself for excessive force, and we've been successful on, this makes my blood boil. And I agree, actually, with what Nabil Shaikh said, or Constable Shaikh said, that at the beginning in North Carolina, when he first approaches, right now there is case law to support that if you have an odor or a fragrance of marijuana, that gives them reasonable suspicion to investigate. That's what reasonable suspicion is. It's a reasonable, articulable suspicion, and it has to be an objective standard. That means it can't be what the officer personally feels. It has to be what a reasonable person in the officer's situation feels. So here he walked up, he felt it smelled like marijuana. He does have the right to investigate. However, there are things that happen later on in this video that I think are very clear. He's not following protocol, and he absolutely used excessive force. To have 4 or 5 young strapping male officers, knees on the back, woman on the ground, arms behind her at that point, and they're screaming stop resistant as they're kneeing her and punching her, literally punching her in the... What I want to know is, how is punching her in her back going to make her give you her arms anymore when she's in a compromising situation? Not only that, if you look at the video, it seems like they do have her arms in control. And I guarantee you this much, suppose they didn't have one of them, they definitely have her under control. She is not a threat at that point. The excessive force was completely unneeded, and I believe the punishment to the officer could have been more, but at the end of the day, at least...
what was it? 40 days? 40 days. 40 days. It
was 40 days. Look, I'm not judge, jury, and executioner. I'm a defense attorney, so I take these things very personally. At the end of the day, that excessive force was completely unnecessary, and I'm happy that they at least took accountability for the officers, because I have seen many times you can sue the PD. It doesn't matter. The officer may not be held accountable.
All right. We want to thank you guys for joining us here on The Factor.